Greetings, dear seekers of wisdom and secret knowledge. Have you ever thought that our lives are influenced not only by those with whom we communicate every day, but also by those who lived long before us? That the past is invisibly present in the present, shaping our path and influencing our decisions. Today we are going to talk about a mysterious and important figure, one whose influence often remains in the shadows, but whose role in our lives is truly immense: our maternal grandmother. Yes, you heard me. It is not just about family stories and grandmother's pies, but about the deep spiritual bond that weaves together the fates of generations. A maternal grandmother is not just our mother's mother, she is the keeper of ancestral wisdom, a bridge between the past and the future, an invisible thread that connects us to the roots of our family. And even if it seems to you that you do not feel this connection, that your relationship with your grandmother was not close, believe me, her influence is much deeper than you can imagine. Not recognizing the depth of that connection is a big mistake. To underestimate the influence of a maternal grandmother with all her life experiences is to overlook an important source of wisdom and strength embedded in us from birth. After all, her unique role in our lives begins long before we are born, from the moment of our mother's conception. Pregnancy, birth. In all these moments, an invisible but powerful bond is formed, connecting generations and influencing the course of future lives. This connection is so deep that it can influence our destiny, guide us along invisible paths, determine our successes and failures. Do you want to know how your maternal grandmother influences your life? What secrets this spiritual connection holds and how to use this knowledge for your benefit? Stay tuned and you will discover many amazing things. Spiritual wisdom, a deeper connection to your maternal grandmother. Today we're going to talk about a figure who plays a very important but often underappreciated role in our lives: our maternal grandmother. Her influence extends far beyond normal family interactions, having a profound impact on our destiny. Throughout our lives, this familial presence, even if not always realized, can guide us along the invisible paths of destiny. A maternal grandmother is our mother's mother, which means she has a special significance on our life path. Some may argue that they have no connection to this figure, perhaps due to a lack of communication or close relationships. However, not recognizing the depth of this connection is a big mistake. To underestimate the influence of a maternal grandmother with all her life experiences is to overlook an important source of wisdom and strength. She, as our mother's mother, plays a unique role from the very beginning of our existence, beginning at the moment of our mother's conception. Pregnancy, birth. In all these moments, an invisible but powerful bond is formed, connecting generations and influencing the course of future lives. This kinship bond, subtle and multifaceted, has a significant impact on who we are and what we live. Today, I want to invite you on a fascinating journey to understanding this important connection. It's not just about gaining knowledge, but about finding the keys to understanding the mysterious aspects of your own life. If you have ever wondered why certain events happen in your history, this insight will offer you a new perspective, going back to your maternal grandmother's roots. By recognizing the significance of this connection, we can find answers to many of the mysteries that plague us. Through the wisdom of generations, we have a chance to see our own experiences and difficulties more clearly. Learning from the successes and mistakes of our ancestors can guide us toward a more informed and meaningful future. In reflecting on the figure of the maternal grandmother, we must move beyond seeing her as simply part of the family. She is the link between past and future, the one who connects us to our roots and helps us build a richer and more meaningful path. Understanding this connection can strengthen not only our own life journey, but also the family ties that bind us together as human beings. There is an important aspect of our lives that, while known, is often overlooked. You may think that by not feeling a direct connection to your grandmother, you are not influenced by her. However, that influence exists, and it is far greater than you may realize. Before we delve into this topic, I want to encourage you to see this text through to the end. You will discover important revelations that could change your life. Now let's focus on today's lesson. It is very important, so pay attention. You have the power to open the doors to each of your cherished desires. Often we don't realize that everything we experience in the physical plane, whether it's our financial situation, our relationships, our health, or other aspects of life, is deeply interconnected and originates in the intangible plane. This space is known by many different names. Jesus of Nazareth called it the kingdom of God. Plato described it as the world of ideas. Yogis call it the mind. Modern science recognizes it as the quantum world. Throughout the ages, different names have been given to this space, but the most important thing is to realize that many of the problems we face today, in economics, relationships, family, friends, health, or work, have their roots in this plane. You will often find that some people face challenges that repeat in cycles, while others don't seem to experience the same situations. This phenomenon is due to mental patterns and beliefs that are ingrained in the subconscious mind. Fortunately, they can be changed. The first step is to understand where these patterns come from. Often they are deeply connected to beliefs that are not really ours, but inherited from ancestors. These patterns, passed down from generation to generation, shape our behavior and decisions. Even if we don't fully realize it, recognizing it is key to personal growth. When we recognize that many of our problems do not originate in ourselves, but are rooted in our family heritage, we open the door to transformation. Practicing self-awareness and personal development are tools that allow us to question and ultimately overcome these patterns. We can replace them with stronger beliefs that align with our true desires, breaking the shackles of the past and freeing our true potential. Recognizing the metaphysical plane leads us on a path of self-discovery. We are not mere victims of external circumstances. We are the creators of our reality. By accepting this responsibility, we can shape our destiny toward a life of fulfillment and accomplishment. Now let's focus on the figure of the maternal grandmother. The bond we have with her goes beyond what is usually considered family ties. It is a connection that is spiritual, and this connection is especially strong with our mother's mother. By understanding the important role your maternal grandmother plays in your life, we can begin to see how this connection affects various aspects of your existence. It is scientifically known that when a woman has eggs, they are not just the eggs of her generation. These eggs carry genetic information that will be passed on to future generations. This means that your maternal grandmother played a direct role in the genetics that were passed on to you. This understanding changes the perception of our destiny by revealing the importance of this female line. Reflecting on the fact that when your mother conceived you, she was already carrying the eggs from which you emerged, and that those eggs, in turn, were already in her at the time your maternal grandmother conceived your mother. We realize the depth of this connection. This line is passed down from mother to daughter, creating a continuous cycle linking one generation to the next. On the other hand, when a male child is born, this transmission is interrupted, resuming only when that male joins with a female to conceive a new being. This raises interesting spiritual questions, especially in cases of adoption where the biological lines are unknown or different. In such cases, we inherit beliefs and patterns that may not belong to our direct history, but still have an impact on our lives. These influences can be deeply rooted in us and manifest continuously if not questioned. While it is important to remain spiritually open, it is equally important to approach these issues with caution. Dolores Cannon, renowned hypnotherapist and author, brings an interesting perspective on this topic. In her research, Dolores looked at how the experiences and traumas of our ancestors can be passed on through the collective unconscious of the family. In her regressive hypnosis sessions, many patients came into contact with memories that seemed to transcend their own lives. Dolores discovered that unresolved emotions and patterns of behavior can be passed from generation to generation, affecting the lives of descendants in subtle but powerful ways. Thus, a maternal grandmother's influence goes beyond genetics. She carries the experience of her ancestors, passing on not only genetic cargo, but also emotional and spiritual legacies. Inherited patterns of thinking and behavior can often reflect the challenges and triumphs of our ancestors, manifesting in our lives in unexpected ways. As we understand the depth of this generational transmission, we realize that it may hold the keys to our success or failure, whether it be financial, emotional, or health issues. The influence of our maternal grandmother and our ancestors can play a crucial role. Dolores Cannon emphasized the importance of recognizing this influence in order to break repetitive cycles and free ourselves from the burden of inherited patterns. This process of healing and transformation begins when we realize that we have the power not only to change our own experiences, but also to transform the experiences of our ancestors. By doing this, we can open the way to a more fulfilling life aligned with our true purpose. honoring the legacy of those who have gone before us. We do not allow the limiting patterns of the past to dictate the terms of our future. Subconscious work involves techniques that reach into the deepest levels of the mind, such as regression hypnosis and energy therapy, to identify and release entrenched patterns and traumas. By understanding the role of the maternal grandmother as a bridge to the past and the keeper of family memory, we can actively participate in the transformation of that legacy. This process improves not only our personal lives, but also contributes to the healing of the entire family line. By integrating the teachings of Dolores, who has explored the influence of ancestors and the impact of patterns passed down from generation to generation, we gain the ability to shape our destiny by freeing ourselves from limiting patterns and embracing a new reality based on love and harmony. We begin a journey of self-discovery and healing. This transformation resonates with both future and past generations, bringing light and liberation to the entire lineage. It is very important to be cautious of the influence of family heritage, especially as it relates to the conditions in which our ancestors lived. Imagine the economic and emotional circumstances in which your maternal grandmother conceived your mother. These conditions may have been imprinted genetically and passed down from generation to generation, affecting not only the family economy but also relationships. For example, if your grandmother experienced a difficult relationship with your grandfather during your mother's pregnancy, these dynamics may have been passed on, creating problems such as divorce or difficult relationships. In the next generation, science has already shown that DNA can change depending on the environment in which a child was conceived. A child born in an atmosphere of harmony between parents will have a different genetic structure than a child conceived in an environment of conflict and tension. These genetic variations show how the emotional markings of parents during pregnancy profoundly affect the development of children. The role of the maternal grandmother is particularly important in this process, as she carries the eggs that will be passed on to future generations, and this connection to this female line continues through their partner's line. Now think about the possible effects of these transmissions in different aspects of your life. If your grandmother survived the war, for example, this could affect how her descendants experience feelings of safety or vulnerability. If there were difficulties in her relationship with your grandfather, this could have created patterns of mistrust that affect subsequent generations, leading to unconscious sabotage in love relationships. Dolores, in her research on the multidimensional nature of existence, has studied how these prenatal influences can affect life. Her work shows that traumas and repetitive ancestral patterns can be passed down through timelines and influence future generations in subtle but significant ways. In the context of these transmissions, the connection to one's maternal grandmother takes on even greater significance. She represents a direct link to the energies and experiences of past generations. Her choices, traumas, and triumphs are imprinted on the family's energy field and can profoundly affect the lives of her descendants. Through techniques such as regressive hypnosis, it is possible to access these memories and identify hereditary patterns that influence our lives today. Dolores has described cases where people have accessed memories of their ancestors and realized the impact of past experiences on their own lives. This invites us to look deeper, to explore those invisible connections that shape us and that may be lurking in the collective subconscious of the family. Recognizing these influences opens the way to healing and transformation. By recognizing family patterns inherited from ancestors, we are empowered to change them and create a more beneficial legacy. When we seek to transform patterns that no longer serve us, it allows us to create a life more aligned with our true selves. The healing process we begin as we release the influences of the past not only changes us but also strengthens the family lineage, allowing future generations to inherit a legacy of awareness, love, and harmony. Have you ever found yourself in a state where you couldn't find the right path, lost in the maze of your thoughts and doubts? These moments when anxiety takes over your heart and mind, when questions one after another appear in your mind, can be exhausting. But even in these deep moments of confusion, there is something important to remember. Your soul has always known who you really are. It keeps the image of that personality that cannot be stopped, that is full of inner strength and is ready to overcome any obstacle. Every time you feel insecure, remember that everything you dreamed of is already with you. All you have to do is open yourself to life, the very life you have always wanted to live. Realize that your dreams are not something distant and unattainable. Every step you take, even the smallest, brings you closer to the incredible future that awaits you. Going forward means moving with determination, letting go of the fear and doubts that sometimes try to hold you back. The most important thing is already in your possession, the key to the fulfillment of all your dreams. It has always been inside you, and you just need to realize and use it. So do not delay any longer. Today is the day when you can start moving towards the realization of what seemed distant and impossible. Today is the day of the beginning of your new reality. Thank you for choosing to walk this path of self-discovery and inner growth. This path, on which you have already taken the first step, leads to the knowledge not only of the world around you, but also to the deep realization of your own essence. Each step on this path reveals to you more and more truths and meanings, helping you to better understand who you really are and what your place in this world is. If the thoughts I have shared resonate in your heart, if they have awakened some long-forgotten or hidden feelings, if they resonate in the depths of your soul, I sincerely invite you to stay in touch. Subscribe to continue this exciting journey of inspiration and wisdom with us. We will continue to share ideas and thoughts that may help you not only to understand yourself more deeply, but also to see new horizons in your life that you may have previously overlooked. If what you have heard today has been meaningful to you, if it has really touched you and provoked important thoughts, do not hesitate to express your gratitude. I would be very pleased to know what feelings and thoughts this material has aroused in you, what you have learned from this experience, and how it has affected your inner world. Share your reflections. For me, it is not just important feedback. It is an opportunity to see how this process of transformation is reflected in other people, how every thought and every word finds its unique continuation in your consciousness. Don't forget that sometimes the universe communicates with us in surprising and unexpected ways. Perhaps while you were looking at this text, a thought popped into your head about someone who might have found something important in these words for themselves, who might be helped by these thoughts in their own life journey. If so, don't be afraid to share this material with that person. It is quite possible that this step will turn out to be the very message he or she has been waiting for, and will open up new opportunities for him or her, or give him or her the knowledge he or she has been longing for. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of our community, for your sincere support, and for helping to spread the ideas and messages that can make a difference in our world. Each of your contributions, whether it's a comment, a like, or simply paying attention to these thoughts, helps create a space where positive change becomes a reality. Until next time, until the next text. And may your day be full of light, awareness, and harmony that will help you to get even closer to your true essence.